here. Let me check with the audio first. Oh, sorry, not this one. Okay, ARPINE is here. Great.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I can see you. No, I don't. I can see you. I can hear your voice, and we will be waiting. We will be waiting our participants. Right. So it's just 1 minute to go. Okay. Right.
I was just waiting for you a bit earlier.
What?
I'm confused. I just confused the hours. I thought 5 p.m. here in Armenia is 8 p.m. No, it turned out in Armenia it is 5:30. Where in your place? 8.
Okay. Okay, I see.
That's why I texted you.
Okay. Yes. I thought you'd say like we should start early because I can start early because I said then like okay, just try us just only at sharp 8 p.m. Okay. I would start, okay. Okay, so one will be here. Okay, one participant will be here. Joining. Okay, ARPINE. Okay, another one.
Okay, great. Oh, they're coming little by little.
Yeah, they're coming at sharp 8 p.m. So they're joining, and
They are punctual. So they are punctual.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Right. Okay. She just can't.
How about you go?
She just. Hello. Okay, go. Okay, great. So we will be waiting a few more participants. I think they might be joining. Right. Right. Hi. Hi. Just say brother. Say. Baradze. Is it true? Baradze.
Wow, perfect Armenian. Perfect Armenian.
So if you want to say hello in Armenian, you can say Baradze. Okay. Oh.
That's a perfect pronunciation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to Google. Every language, the answer, the key is like, okay, great. Wait. Let me contact them. Right. All right. Right. Okay. Some participants said that they have a poor connection, and because they have a little bit farther, but I think they will join on the halfway of our talk, and I just said, okay, they can join, but wait. Okay, one more. One more. So they are joining.ညီမလေးဒီကနေမဟုတ်ညီမလေး link ကနေဝင်လာမှာညီမလေး ဟုတ်ကဲ့ဟုတ်ရရရှင်ရရရှင်ဟုတ် Okay. So some of them thought like that they have to join in the messenger group. I just said like you have to join in the Zoom, not in messenger group. Okay. So guys, okay, we have some participants. So now we have 5 participants.
So now they can't join us here?
Oh no, they can join us. They can join us because we have some technical errors last week, and some of them might think like we try to connect via messenger, but we are just going normal like we used to do like in Zoom. Okay, so I just tell that you can join in Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
So wait, when we are waiting for the others, what we can do is and I just would like to say them that they can unmute their audio and ask questions every time they would like to know. So for the audience, if you have questions for the guest speaker, you can ask anything about her country or her biography or about the topic, just like anything. She welcome all of the questions, and she will also have some questions for you guys. So wait, there will be some other participants joining. Okay, wait. Okay, so don't be hesitate to ask questions. If you can unmute, or if you don't want to unmute your audio, you can ask and type your questions in our chat box, and we can see that, and it's all available to everyone. iPhone. I don't know who is iPhone, but she's joining. Okay. So we will wait a little bit more minute, like maybe 3 minutes.
Sure.
Is it okay? Is it okay for you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's wait for everybody to gather, then we'll start.
Okay, sure.
It's much better to have more people.
Yeah, sure. So
there will be variety of opinions.
Yeah, sure. It will be variety because we have different ethnic people. We have like over 130 ethnicities. So there might be some different ethnicities here joining this talk. Wait. You know what? Some of them have a misunderstanding yesterday because they thought that it will be Saturday because we used to have a guest talk on Saturday, and they are like, okay, we are ready, let's join. And it was like, no, not tonight. I mean, tomorrow. Okay. They're just like, okay. And okay, there is someone from Slovakia, and she said that she thought like that. She thought she has to join yesterday. But for today, she said she would be busy with family reunion, so she could not be able to join this talk. Yeah, today.
Okay, clear.
So I will have a talk. I will talk then in Burmese a little bit about their pronunciation and try to catch slow or quick. Is it faster or ညီမလေးတို့အမားတို့ပေါ့နော်ဒီအနေနဲ့ပေါ့နော်ကိုကသူပြောတဲ့ဟာကိုအရင်မြန်နေထင်နေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လေဟိုအမားတို့ဒီ reaction စေးမှာလက်ထောင်ပြီးတော့ဖြစ်ဖြစ်ပေါ့နော်။ဒါမှမဟုတ်အမျိုးလုပ်ပြီးတော့ပြောနေရမြန်နေဆိုပြီးတော့အမားတို့ပြောလို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်။သူကိုလည်းအမားတို့ပြောထားတယ်ပေါ့နော်။တကယ်လို့ကိုကမြန်တယ်လို့ထင်နေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်သူတို့အနေနဲ့ပြန်ပြီးနှေးပေးပါဆိုပြီးတော့မှပြောထားတယ်ဆိုတော့အဓိကကဟို pronunciation ကို quite catch ဖြစ်ဖို့လိုပဲလိုတယ်ပေါ့နော်တကယ်လို့ तू ကပြောတာပြောပြီးတော့အမားတို့ကဘာမှနားမလည်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီ talk ကလည်းဘာမှအထိပ္ပယ်မရှိဘူးပေါ့နော်ဆိုတော့ဟိုကိုဟုတ်ကဲ့ဟုတ်ကဲ့တကယ်လို့ကိုကသူပြောတဲ့ဟာကိုကိုကအရင်ညံနေရထင်လို့ရှင်ပေါ့နည်းနည်းနှေးပေးပါဆိုပြီးပြောပေးပေါ့နော်ပြီးမိကုန်းကိုပဲချိန်မဆိုဖြတ်ပြီးမေးလို့ရပါတယ်အာမနာပါနဲ့အားနာကြမရှိပါဘူးအဲ့တော့ तू ကလည်း welcome လုပ်ပြီးတော့ तू အနေနဲ့လည်းအရင်ပြောပြချင်လို့ပေါ့နော်ဒီ talk ကို join တာပါဒါပေမဲ့ participants တွေကဘာလို့လဲမသိရင်တစ်ပတ်ကထက်စားလို့ရှင်နေပါလို့ပဲပေါ့နော်ကြည့်ရတာမအားကြလို့လားတိတ်ပဲမှားကြတာမပြောတတ်ဘူးပေါ့နော်မနေ့ကတော့တိတ်မှားတဲ့သူတွေတော့တွေ့ရပေါ့နော်တိတ်မှားပြတာမီးတဲ့သူတွေတွေ့ရ Okay အဲ့တော့အမတို့စောင့်နေရနေပြီးတော့စောင့်ရင်းနဲ့ပဲစလိုက်ကြမယ်ပေါ့နော်ဆိုတော့ကအဲ့တော့အမစလိုက်မယ်နော် Okay so I think we can start while we're waiting for them
so we can start okay
great sure we can start So, hello guys, welcome to our third event on cross-border connectivity. This week we'll begin with the guest speaker from Armenia, ARPINE BABAYAN, and the topic will be about. I will admit. Okay.
More people are coming.
Yes.
More people joining. Yeah.
Yes. Right. So the topic will be about the importance of non-formal learning in formal education. So non-formal education is regarded as a flexible type of education which enhances knowledge and skills to a particular type of group of people. And according to the UNESCO, non-formal education helps to ensure equal access to education and eradicates or minimize illiteracy among women and improve women access to vocational training. So if you want to know much more about the topic, then we can have our talk by ARPINE BABAYAN and can have questions and answers later. And so I would like to hand over to ARPINE BABAYAN for the topic, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today. So hello everybody once again. How are you doing? Are you doing well?
That's great.
Okay.
So I'm Martina. I come from Armenia. Well, first of all, I would like to know if you ever heard about Armenia, because it's a very tiny country lost in the middle of nowhere in South Caucasus. Anything heard? Guys?
Armenia နိုင်ငံအကြောင်းတစ်ခုခုကြားဘူးတာမျိုးရှိလို့ရှင်ပြောလို့ရပါတယ်
Okay, I will try to. Yeah.
Someone said no.
No, okay. I will try to give you some hints. Maybe you, maybe this hint will help you to know Armenia more. So, if you know Kim Kardashian, sure you might know her. Yeah, do you know them?
Sorry, I have to say no.
No.
Yes.
And
Kim Kardashian ကိုမသိရဘူးလားတဲ့
I'm sorry.
Okay. And what about Henrik Mkhitaryan? If you are interested in football, maybe you know Henrik Mkhitaryan, because he's playing in Manchester United. No?
So there are two boys here. So I'm not sure they know it. Boys,
if you ever... Yes?
No. I mean, 2 boys, yes. For not your answer.
Not yours.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, then maybe from this talk, you'll know that both Henrik Mkhitaryan and Kim Kardashian are Armenians. So yeah, Armenia is a tiny country in it's between Europe and Asia. So it kind of located at the crossroads between Europe and Asia, connecting both of these continents. So guys, this was a little bit introduction about my country. So as you have been told, and my name is ARPINE. So I am 23 years old. A few months ago, I just came back from Slovakia from my volunteering. Currently, I'm doing my internship at Content and Copywriting Department in a marketing agency. And as I'm really passionate about, I love really volunteering and the topic of non-formal learning, I decided to accept his offer to speak about how valuable it is to be active during university years, to volunteer, which will sure impact your personal brand to present yourself better to a recruiter. So now let me share my presentation with you. Can you turn on the can you let me share the presentation?
Yes, I already did.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Can you now see it?
Okay. Okay.
So today's topic, we're gonna talk about generally what is education and how what is non-formal learning and formal learning, how they can be, how non-formal learning can help you to be better in formal learning. Before we get to this topic, I would like to brainstorm ideas with you. Via Mentimeter, I'm sure that you have already been learned about this tool. I saw the post that you did on Facebook. So it's a kind of tool that makes lessons more interactive to interact with students. So now I would like you to Google Mentimeter and join the presentation with the code that you see on the screen.
အဲ့တော့အမားတို့အနေနဲ့ Mentimeter ဆိုရဲအဲ့ဒီခုနအမား post တင်ထားတဲ့ဟာပေါ့နော် Google ကိုသွားပြီးတော့အဖုန်းထဲကနေပြီးတော့မှဒီ Mentimeter ကိုတစ်ချက်တော့ဝင်ပေးပါတဲ့ Okay.
So here on the screen you see the code. Use the code to join the presentation.
ဆိုတော့အမားတို့အပေါ်မှာတွေ့ရဲ့653987ဆိုရဲ code ကိုယူပြီးတော့အမားတို့ဒီအဲ့ဒီကိုဝင်ရမယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဝင်လို့ရှိရင်အမားတို့ presentation ကိုတွေ့ရပါလိမ့်မယ်ဟုတ် for cloud ဆိုရဲဟာအဆင်ပြေလားမသိဘူးရှင်
So you need to as you imagine how you imagine what is education for you, okay? What is learning generally for you? How you can learn? What you associate education with?
Applied. So the question will be about how do we think about the education?
What do you think education is?
ဟုတ်ပြီအဲ့တော့အမားတို့ကအဲ့မှာစကားလုံးထည့်ပေးရမှာက education ကိုဘယ်လိုမျိုး define လုပ်တယ်ဆိုတာကိုတယောက်ချင်းစီပေါ့နော်အဲ့မှာ enter award လို့ရှိရဲ့အဲ့ enter award မှာအမားတို့စာလုံးလေးဖြည့်ပေးရမယ်ပေါ့နော်အဆင်ပြေလားမသိဘူးရှင်
ဟုတ်ပြေအဲ့
တော့အခုဆိုစာလုံးရိုက်နေပေါ့နော်ကိုက education ကိုဘယ်လိုမြင်လဲဆိုတာကိုဖုန်းနဲ့ရိုက်လို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဖုန်းနဲ့ရိုက်ပေးပါပေါ့နော်okay
So did you manage to do it? Is it okay?
အားလုံးအဆင်yeah အားလုံးအဆင်ပြေကြရလား Is it okay?
As long as you type in some words, you should see whatever you type on the screen. Your words. We should see your words coming to the screen.
အားလုံးအဆင်ပြေကြရလား Okay ဒီမှာပေါ်လာပါပြီအမလည်းရိုက်နေပါတယ်
More people, yeah. Door to knowledge. What is it? Learning.
တခြားသူတွေရောအဆင်ပြေကြရလား Is it everything okay for the others?
So you got what you need to do, right? So right, formal and informal learning, something we can learn, a door to knowledge, learning. More options? Any more options you can offer, you can suggest?
So တကယ်လို့ကိုကတခြားဟာတွေစဉ်းစားဟာရှိရဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းဝင်လို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်တကယ်လို့အမလေးကိုမဝင်ရဘူးအခက်အခဲရှိရဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း you can talk to us if you have any problems with the Mentimeter signing in or joining this ပြန်ပြောပေးကြပါနော်
So this much, guys. You are not typing any more words.
Okay, so
as far as I see this one, all of them are right. So yes, education can be both formal and informal. Education gives us an opportunity to learn something. It's a door to knowledge. It's a door to better future. So education is learning. But what do you think? Education is only limited within the university and school institutions, or it can also be like in other aspects of lives? I'll bring one example. So education can happen in any step of life. So whether when we speak, even when we speak to a neighbor, or we discuss something with our friends, even when we meet a passerby on the street, any moment of life can teach us something valuable that can be beneficial and helpful later. If there's an opportunity to learn, I highly advise you not to miss it. Even we learn something while spending some time with our granny in the kitchen. I remember whenever my granny always advises me, my granny always advises me to learn cooking, because like she's always telling me it doesn't matter whether you're studying at university or not. Guys, do you understand me, or I speak too quickly?
I think they are okay. အဲ့တော့နည်းနည်းမြန်ပြောနေရဆိုလို့ရှိရင်သူ့ပြောပေးပါပေါ့နော်အရင်မြန်နေပေါ့နော်ဟုတ်
So just an example of learning. So my granny is always advising me not to miss any opportunity to learn, even if it's in the kitchen, because it doesn't matter whether I'm studying at university or not. If I'm going to become a linguist or a digital marketer, anyway. For example, I need to know I need to learn how to cook, because sooner or later I'm gonna make a family and I need to know cook. And it doesn't matter what kind of skill it is. You never know when this skill is gonna be helpful for you. So before I didn't pay much attention to the words of my granny that I really need to cook, because I was like, oh, granny, why do I need to cook? It's not very it's not very useful at the moment for me. I can also order something. But when I traveled to Slovakia and I was living there alone, so I needed to take care of myself on my own, and I needed to cook. I needed to cook because if I wanted also to travel all around Europe, I needed to save money. And I just only go to the supermarket and buy, I don't know, some pastries or cookies. So if I wanted to save money, cooking was a necessity for me. So that's why I remembered what my grandmother had always advised to me. So learn cooking. Never miss opportunity of learning, because you never know when this particular skill will gonna be useful for you. So this is number one valuable tip that I also would like you to implement in your life. Just if you think it doesn't have to be cooking, it can be, I don't know, editing, it can be gardening, it can be language learning. So if you feel like that this opportunity to learn something is given to you right now, don't ignore it, learn it, because one more time I want to repeat it, that you never know when this skill will gonna be useful and when will you be using it. But at the moment when you understand that you're able to do it, you just become so proud of yourself that you can cook. I remember back in Slovakia when I was so proud of myself when I could make some Armenian traditional dishes, and all of my friends were tasting it and they were praising the skill of cooking. So I felt like, yeah, I can cook so well that all of my friends enjoy whatever I make. So never lose the opportunity of learning a skill that doesn't even relate it to your future that you have that you are paving for yourself. Let's go. So time now. As for formal learning, so you know that formal learning is processed inside the university, schools or colleges. When you study at university or a school or college, it's considered to be a formal learning. Again, I would like to start with an example to come to the point what I want you to get. When I was a first-year student, I had a long chat with one of my course mates, and she was telling me that she didn't want to study at a linguistic university. So, the faculty where I had been studying, it was a faculty of Russian and foreign languages. Of course, I was really passionate about languages, and I know why I had chosen this particular department to study. But my friend was always complaining why she had chosen to study English language, because she wasn't into language learning process, and it was too difficult for her to delve in this language world. She had been always dreaming to become a policewoman, and she wanted to study at a police academy, but her parents were like, you can't study at the police academy, you're a girl, how are you gonna become a policewoman? It's not a girl job, better go study languages. You might be working as a teacher, and it might be much easier for you to learn languages. So she gave up her dreams, and she ignored what her heart was really close to, and did whatever her parents were wishing her to do since early childhood. So, but because of this, she never enjoyed linguistics and languages during all 4 years, during all 4 university years. She had always been coming to me and asking me to explain the rules of English grammar, later also the rules of Greek grammar. And as she wasn't spending time enough for her classes, university classes, because she wasn't enjoying it. And I don't blame her. I mainly blame her parents that didn't let her to do whatever she wanted to do. So that's why here I highly recommend when it's time for you. I don't know whether some of you are studying now at university or not, or you are still school children. I highly recommend you to go and study something that you want to do, that you are really interested in, you are passionate about. If it is something your neighbors, your relatives, your parents want, but not you, better not do it, because you're not gonna enjoy the process, and the process is the most important of all. So if you don't enjoy the process, it means you are not into this topic, and you don't study it well. If you don't study it well, you don't know it well. So you at the end, when you graduate, you won't be a good specialist. So while you're wasting your time, your money to study something, to do something that you do not enjoy. So I highly recommend to study something that your heart is close to, not something that is modern nowadays. I have also seen that today also most students go and study something that is modern, that everybody, like their friends, go to study. For example, I don't know, something related to informational technologies. But if you feel like that's not yours, you are not into it, better you not do it. If you feel like that you are more into, I don't know, political science, you are more into agricultural things, then go and study that. Because all in all, you are going to be the manager of your life. So it should be something that will bring you pleasure, and if you enjoy something doing, then it will be more like enjoyable for you. And if you enjoy it, it will be much easier for you to earn money. So you wouldn't have to wake up every morning complaining, I don't want to go to this workplace, or I have decided to do it. So better study something that is close to your heart. So do you have any questions so far?
အခုချိန်ထိပြောလာရတဲ့မှာပေါ့နော်မိကုန်းလေးပါတယ်ရှိလို့ရှင်မေးလို့ရပါတယ်တဲ့မရှိရင်ဆက်သားလို့ Okay.
Anyway, you're so cute.
No? Okay. So here on this slide, that's me during my graduation party. So as you read, formal education sets the base of what you know. So studying at university doesn't mean that university should give you everything you need. So university just opens a door for you to go and explore more. So I don't think that university university is obliged to give you any kind of knowledge that you need. Continually, I keep telling my friends, when a professor gives you a passage to read, gives you a book to read about a certain topic, go and do a research in-detailed research about the topic, because professor's role is to guide you through the process. The professor's role is not to provide you with much in detailed knowledge. If you want to know more, you need to go to explore on the internet. like information is out there. You just have to know how to find this information. And university's role lies here. University is to teach you, is to guide you how to find this information, so that you become more knowledgeable in your field. But once you go and find like the information that you need to know, and you master the information, you need to implement whatever you have read in books in action, because into practice, because if you do not put whatever you have learned into action, it's a useless knowledge, skills. And that's where non-formal learning comes to help us. I've always been into volunteering and non-formal learning, because that's what helped me to become a good specialist that I am right now. Like since maybe the first year of my university, I have been applying for local events to volunteer there as a translator, as an interpreter, or just as an assistant to the organizer. And I remember when I was volunteering in one international festival here in Armenia. It was my first ever experience interpreting, and I was so much scared about standing on the stage and doing on the spot translation for the for my film director, who had been attached to me. But I managed to do it because I kind of tried to convince me that this is something that will bring me to a higher level, and if I continue to feel more ashamed of myself and not to show my skills, I'm not going to improve myself. So little by little, it became much easier for me to speak, to express myself, to translate. Of course, I was also making mistakes in my speech, and yeah. But I was confidently continuing to do whatever I was doing. So after this international festival, I went on to apply for another charity event organized by the Ministry of Diaspora. There I was a coordinator with children of Armenian descent who came to Armenia to learn the Armenian language and to get to know the Armenian culture and Armenian heritage. So again, I was kind of also operating there as a translator, and it was becoming much easier for me to do translations, interpretations in a more confident way. So here, what's my tip to you? Never the first time when you try to enter this professional world through volunteering would be difficult because all the time reading texts at university and then all of a sudden appearing in a professional world, of course, is difficult. But you should be really confident and believe in your power, that nothing horrible would happen. Just you are testing your skills, whatever you have so far learned at university. So if you fail, it's okay. If you succeed, it's again okay. So just go on trying. Go on trying things. I think I have since the first year of my university, I have done so many much volunteering. It was even I was joining groups of gardening or I was joining my university to spread some pieces of magazines to people on the street. All these volunteering opportunities helped me to improve my soft skills. And do you know what is soft skill? So soft skills, they are like our negotiation skills, the ability to communicate, the ability to think critically about certain things. So this there was one of the like rarest things I needed to improve, and volunteering was what helped me grow. And to improve my communication skills and negotiation skills, and I'm kind of really thankful to all those coordinators that accepted me as volunteers into their projects. After almost 4 years of volunteering locally in Yerevan, also in the countryside of Armenia, I decided to pass to the international level, which was the EVS, European Voluntary Service. Of course, it was a bit more it was a bit scarier for me to travel abroad and try to volunteer there, because I was gonna live there without my parents, without anyone's guidance. It was more responsibility for me. If I was volunteering in my country, I could give up on it anytime I want, and I was cooperating with my compatriots in Slovakia. Everybody was a foreigner, and I needed to be more responsible for my steps. So I decided that I had to be as active as possible, and I had to initiate as many ideas as possible in Slovakia to be worth of a good appraisal. And I think I managed to do it. I organized first of all, I tried to see what people are mostly in need of in the small town where I was living there. So I noticed that most of the people, most of the students that we were working with were lacking the ability of speaking English confidently. And I started with the English club there in Slovakia. And it was at first difficult to invite people to my English club. Nobody was coming. Everybody was feeling very shy. And I was personally writing everyone to come to the club, but they were kind of not trusting us. They were thinking, who are these foreign volunteers that came to Slovakia and are now convincing us to go to the center to speak English? But step by step, once we were keeping visiting local schools, and they were keeping knowing us more closely. We built trust, and they felt more inspired and more motivated to join us in our initiatives. So little by little, so I also tried to organize other events in Slovakia, to also to get to know them to my country. One of which was a cultural event to talk about my Armenian heritage, cultural heritage, what is Armenia, where it is located, about our musical heritage, and I even managed to invite TV to broadcast commentary on the event. So since then, I am wondering how I gathered enough courage to invite this TV, to get in contact with the editor-in-chief of this TV, local television to get them to my event and to broadcast it. Then so I also continued like visiting schools and kindergartens. So and I tried to hold to the vow that I made myself back in Armenia before my departure, to be as active as possible. And at the end of my volunteering experience, I got selected one of the best volunteers of 2018, 2019 in across Slovakia. So yeah, and it was me, another Russian volunteer, and a Argentinian volunteer who was also once volunteering in his organization. I don't know if she has heard about this Argentinian girl or not. So yeah, this was about my experience, volunteering experience. So my recommendation to you, first of all, so start from the smallest in volunteering, and then little by little get to the international level, which is the biggest peak. So as you see, I also started like from the smallest, there is like smallest, participating in small events in Armenia, then which got me to my international level. And what volunteering taught me, it taught me like to be more self-confident. It helped me to improve English, Russian, and Greek. It helped me to grow network. What does it mean to grow network? It helped me to know as many people as possible across Europe, across Asia. And this is the most important thing ever that volunteering gave me. Now I think like I have a friend in any corner of the world, like literally, both in Europe and in Asia. And the result of which is this talk. So, so yeah, like one of the advantages of volunteering is connecting you with like-minded people, people who know better than you, people who can teach you something. So if you now have any questions to me, for me, like about my experience, about my studies, because I would like you more to ask me questions, to have more in detail and cozy conversation with me, because like only me talking, it's a bit boring. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me anything. What about EVS, my studies at university, my volunteering experience in Armenia, in Slovakia? Even you can ask me questions about traveling around Europe. What did I learn? So,
Yes, I think Plain Dollar has unmuted. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Just unmute yourself. Just unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you for your sharing. So, to a university or what do you study? Because you didn't mention.
Yeah. So for 4 years, I studied linguistics. Linguistics. It's like science of studying languages. So in my university, it's obligatory for students who choose linguistics to study 3 languages, like 2 more languages apart from the main one, which is going to be their profession. So my main language is English. But as I'm a linguist, I was supposed to also study 2 more languages. But as any average girl, I was in love with Spanish. I don't know if some of the girls also like are in love with Spanish music, with this fire country, as I used to call this land. So yeah, but unfortunately, I didn't study Spanish. I remember one day my dean came to the room and wrote down all the languages that we were supposed to study during these 4 years. And in front of my group's name, he wrote something in Spanish. He was a professor of the Spanish language, and he wrote all the languages in Spanish. And he wrote something in Spanish, and we couldn't even get what it was. Like everybody understood what's their second language, but my group didn't get it because it was like ununderstandable. So later we got to know that our second language was going to be Greek. Of course, everybody was so like everybody was complaining about this option because nobody wanted to study Greek. They were like, why we need to study Greek? It's not a helpful language. We don't need it. Nobody speaks Greek in the world. What the heck? They decided to give us the Greek language. We even went to the dean's office to complain, but nothing worked. And the result was that we studied Greek until we finished university. Nobody in my group got interested in the Greek language apart from me. So every time when it was exam period, I was like gathering everybody in the library and explaining them all the Greek rules one more time to help them to take the exams. So yeah, sometimes life brings us some, like life offers us something that we are not expecting to learn, which at the end might also benefit our future. Because during my volunteering in Slovakia, I got lucky to travel to Greece for 1 week, and I was so happy that I did it because it was my chance to speak to practice language with the native speakers, and they were so happy that they got learned. I know their language, Greek, and now I'm so much in love with Greece, Greek, their culture, like their history. So sometimes life makes us face things that we do not expect. So.
Thank you.
I studied linguistics, so yeah, I'm linguist, but right now I don't work as a linguist. So just this department of linguistics just helped me to learn languages, helped me to understand the structure of languages, which makes it easy for me to learn other languages. I don't know if you have noticed or not, when you know one language from one language family, from the same language family, it makes it easier to learn also the others. For example, now I know English. My third language was also German. English is kind of paving the way to learn German because both of them belong to the same language family. So yeah. But currently I am a copywriter, content writer. Like I'm writing text, articles for advertising. So, but yeah, like the deep knowledge of English is now helping me to write more succinct texts. So I hope I answered to your question in a detailed way.
Yes, it's really detailed.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes, anyways, you're speaking many languages. So how did you learn this language, those languages? Would you like to share?
Actually, my tip to learn languages. Okay. First, in Armenia, at schools, we study 2 languages. It's English and Russian. But from very young age, Armenian television shows movies, cartoons, sometimes even TV shows in Russian. I don't know if you know it or not, but Armenia was one of the 15 Soviet Union states. And that is the main reason that people here mostly understand Russian and they speak Russian. So that's why since a very early age, I have been used to the Russian language. So always like watching cartoons and movies in Russian helped me to understand, like intuitively to understand the language. If I couldn't speak it, but I could understand it. Then when I was already a schoolgirl, I started studying it more. And yeah, I could already speak Russian, though I didn't have like real-time practice. But I could understand it. By the way, I improved my Russian in Slovakia because I was living, like generally all our volunteers in my organization were Russian speaking. I don't know how it happened, but all my fellow volunteers at the same organization as I was volunteering were Russians, or Russian speaking people, like from Ukraine. So I helped, maybe I didn't improve my English, but I improved my Russian. That is the weirdest thing ever. So also Russian helped me there to understand Slovak, because like Russian and Slovak belong to the same language family. So most of the words were like the same, or the endings may be different. But generally, if they were saying like sentence, I could understand like the general meaning of what was happening in the conversation. So that's why I also learned, like during 1 year, this 1 year I managed to learn Slovak at some intermediate level, maybe, but now maybe I forgot it already. And English, as long as I remember myself, I have been taking private lessons of the English language apart from school, because like school lessons weren't very productive, and my parents sent me like hired a tutor for me to learn English, because they were sure if you know English, any kind of problem would be solved. So yeah, so since the second grade, yes, at school I've been taking private English lessons. Yeah. Besides, also like later, I felt like that I love the English more than Russian, because like Russian grammar is a little bit more complicated. So I started watching TV shows. I remember the first TV show that I started watching in English, it was High School Musical. Have you heard about this TV show? High School Musical. It's an American TV show. It's a musical movie, and I kept singing their songs along while watching the videos, and it also helped me to learn the language. Later, when I was volunteering in international festivals, so it also helped me, like I was practicing the language with foreigners, doing translations in the meantime. So volunteering here helped me a great deal to improve my languages. So like the first place that should be given to for improving my English, that's volunteering for sure, because not watching movies or reading books, I don't know, nothing helped me as much as volunteering in different international events, festivals. So I highly recommend you, if you want to improve, just try to volunteer in any international event that's happening in your place, if there is such an opportunity, of course, because it's your first opportunity to come out of your comfort zone and finally speak it. Whether you make mistakes or not, the most important factor here is that you speak the language you study. If you do not speak it, you'll never get to fluency. So once you start a language, have in your mind that you have to speak it and never be afraid and shy.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, and I think we are running out of time. So we would like to end the sections, and thank you very much for the answers and the questions too, for the guest speakers and also for our participants who joined this third week. And I just would like to say like I should not hakuluyan. Is it right? Saying thank you in Armenian. Um, uh,
Yes, Shnorakalutun.
yes.
Shnorakalutun.
Yeah. So it's a very honor for us to have you here to know much more about the informal, non-formal learning, informal education, and your volunteering experience in Slovakia as an EBS project volunteer, and also some of your friends' examples about the police woman. Yeah. So we do really appreciate your talk, and I do, and so like they will also too, and thank you very much. And we will send you the recording of this video after this, and I will send you the even feedback to the participants who joined this talk. And we will also have upload in our Facebook page Lemon Bites, and also on our YouTube channel Lemon Bites too this recording. So I would like to end the sessions here, and thank you very much, and hope you enjoy hope you enjoy this weekend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for having me here as well. So it was also my pleasure to speak to you, to have your questions answered. So yeah, anytime you have a question, you can contact me via my Facebook account or Instagram account. I'm always open to answer your questions, so never feel shy. Just add me as your friend on Facebook or Instagram, so I'm always there.
အဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အမတို့ဒီမှာပဲပြီးလိုက်ပါတော့မယ်အမတို့ even feedback နဲ့အခုလိုမျိုးမေးခွန်းတွေမေးပြတဲ့ကျေးဇူးအများကြီးတင်ပါတယ် Thank you very much for being here for our guest speaker and also for our participants, and see you guys next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. And bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.